All right, everyone, we're back to take a look at another press conference after the 8th game of the 2024 World Championship between Ding and Gukesh ended in a draw. Let's take a look and hear what the players have to say. Sound is way too soft. Okay, there we go.
You don't know. The score is currently tied at 4-4. The games are getting incredibly complex. I'm sure fans are at the edges of their seats and seconds are having heart attacks. And I'm losing hair from my head watching these games. I have a question for the players. I'll start with the world champion. You have had some incredible games, and very few people in history can speak to the pressure cooker that players are under when they're playing in a world championship match.
True.
How does today's game reflect the growing intensity that this match is providing and the kind of maybe internal pressure you're feeling as your opponent and you are playing games that are just absolutely mind-bending?
Well, as in the last World Championship match, there are a lot of ups and downs. There are not so many perfect games. And in last World Championship, also one game there, he's winning at some point, and then suddenly I'm winning at the end. So, but today during the game, I didn't realize I was winning at some point. I think he missed some important.
Yeah, see, Ding literally is saying exactly what I said. The sound is good. My mods aren't complaining, so I think the sound is fine. But basically what he's saying is, effectively is he's saying what I said in my recap, which is that, like, he didn't see the recap's live, by the way. He didn't see like the forced win anywhere. Like he was obviously told by someone that he missed a win, but he didn't see a forced win anywhere. So again, this really shows the difference between computers and humans. It shows the difference for the millionth time, I'm gonna say. Let's keep going.
Important details. Let me get back to the game. Before that, he would totally outplay me again. And actually, I didn't feel so much nervous during the game. I just feel uncomfortable out of the opening.
Before we get to actual moves, I'd like to ask the challenger, how is it that you're turning down draws in positions where, again, your seconds must be thinking, why doesn't he just take the draw and leave? And you're
today, out of all the days that Maurice could say it, today is literally the worst example. I'll tell you why. You know why I'll tell you this is the worst example? Because today was a situation where Gukesh had no risk. But when you look at the computer, like, oh my God, White's much better. You can't do this. White can win the game with like Rook C2, Queen E6, and what's it, like Bishop D6 or something really random. Or no, it's Queen D6 and Bishop D4 or something. Like, again, today is actually like the one day that asking this question is completely wrong. It's a wrong question for today. For any other day, it would be fine to ask this, but for today, Gukesh played on because he thought he had no risk. Again, when you look at the computer, it's very different than looking as a human where you can't cheat and you don't know the objective evaluation, or you don't know exactly what the evaluation is. I should say that.
That look like potentially you would risk losing.
Yeah, actually, this position where I didn't repeat, I didn't think I was in much danger.
He literally says what I just said. He literally just says what I said. It's always easier when you have Stockfish to cheat with. When you don't have Stockfish to cheat with, of course, the human view of that position is that black is okay and there's no risk. I mean, obviously. It's just not, I mean, he basically doesn't think there's any risk there. Again, this is the problem. When you look at it with a computer, it's completely different than from the human perspective. That's why I don't like I really don't like it when you see them mentioning stuff like this, because it's just like it really takes away from what the game is. He is over optimistic, but that being said, in that position he probably thought the pawn goes to b3 and I can't lose the position.
I mean, I always thought with this weak king and my strong pawn on b3 I should have played. I thought maybe even I might have some chances, but okay. Yeah, it was just a misjudgment of the position.
If we can get to just a few moves, we could analyze this for hours. Obviously, the game was so fascinating. But at one point, the move f6 seemed to give you pause. Was it a surprise to you?
I want to play something like b4 to create space on the queen side. Maybe already mistake. I don't know. Like this. And d5 maybe queen c2. To gain some space on the queen side. But in the end, I decided to play nature move castle.
You played this move f6. Many players, or many people in the VIP room, including one of your mentors, Anand, said he was quite shocked by this move and surprised, wondering if it had ever happened before. Is it something that you had? Well, it looks like something you had deeply prepared.
Wait, but wasn't this what Fabiano played in the World Blitz last year? Or am I crazy? Wasn't this what Fabiano played last year in the World Blitz? Or am I crazy? This is what Fabiano played last year. This is not something like, yes, it's only one game, but I mean, Fabiano's kind of just, I mean, he's not just some, he's not some NN as Gary Kasparov would put it. I mean, he did play that, right? You guys probably don't know what I'm referring to, but when I worked with Gary Kasparov back in the old days, just one short story before we get back into it, Gary had his databases, and if the players were below like 2,600, he would not even put the names. When he put his annotation for what the game was, it wouldn't be like, I don't know, Bortnick versus Naroditsky. It would be NN versus NN, i.e. no name, meaning they don't matter, they're irrelevant. So I just want to tell that short story just because I think I've said it on stream before, but I thought people would enjoy that. It does, if they're below like a certain level, it doesn't matter. They're NN. They don't exist. They don't matter. Elitist or egoistic or elitist, I don't know what the right word is, but yeah. So Gary literally as Davis or plenty of times I look through something, I'd see like some line out to like move 15, it'd be NN versus NN. Or it'd be NN versus like some Russian GM or something like that. So anyway, let's keep going.
Anything about this move?
Yeah, I mean it was part of my preparation, and I would like to also mention, my team. They have been doing a great job, not only Gayu but my other team members as well, and we managed to surprise them in the opening. So we're doing a great job. I'd like to thank my team so far, and hopefully more such interesting ideas will come.
He's
continue
right.
on that vein. Later in the game, it seemed they had a fantastic position. You even took a pawn on A2, which seemed like...
No, I mean, he's absolutely right. I mean, his team around him is doing the prep. I mean, they're giving him great stuff. I mean, his openings are not his openings have been dynamite. I mean, his openings have been great. Every game, I think, except for the Exchange French, I mean, the openings have been dynamite. Sure, he lost in game one in the French as well, but I thought the prep was fine. I mean, he miscalculated or misevaluated position. But other than that Exchange French, I mean, he's been getting great position with white and with black. So I mean, the prep has been very, very good by his team.
Maybe even a winning move, but just a second later, you chose to play your knight on D7 to C5 instead of... Sorry, your knight from A6 to C5 instead of the knight from D7 to C5, which looked like a very powerful move. Did you consider that move, and what was the minus in your mind? Why you didn't play it?
Yeah, this knight D5 move just looked weird to me.
Yeah, it looked
weird. So I was mainly considering knight C5, and I thought what I did in the game must be winning.
So he's wrong. Okay, so he's wrong. But you see, this is very important to note, by the way, speaking of things. Very important to note. I'll tell you why. He said it looks weird because you have this knight on the rim. So it makes more sense to bring the knight from the rim to the center versus bring the knight from the center to the more towards the edge of the board. So it just looked weird, and he thought you want to move the knight from the edge. Very logical. But it's interesting that he thought after knight c5 he's still winning. It's amazing.
Clearly he has, I guess with the knight on d7 he always has some tricks with bishop h3, and I need to watch out for the unpleasant pin. Yeah, I just didn't realize knight d5 was that strong. I mean, it was also based on the fact that I missed queen e1.
You missed queen e1.
In the next move, knight c5, rook c1. I mean, I thought queen d2, b4 is just winning for me, but I just missed queen e1.
Okay,
Queen e1.
Fair.
Was it because of knight takes?
Knight d3, queen c3, yeah.
Yeah, very logical.
It was actually very impressive that my opponent found this queen e1 so quickly. So yeah, great defense by him.
Yeah, I mean, basically, yes. Ding suddenly, he like woke up from his big slumber and started playing all the best moves.
Did you spot this knight DC5 in this position as a serious move? Once he played knight, the other night, you seem to just be on autopilot, playing all your moves pretty instantly. Very strong moves at that. But had you noticed this other idea of playing this knight to this square, which would have...
Just when I was calculating knight DC5, he played knight AC5.
Okay.
I go rook c1.
Yeah, see, because it's going to take them a second to realize the difference.
Queen c2. The same position with the knight on c5.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like your pawns
Okay,
are
relax,
moving.
you
Even
guys,
if you lost
relax.
this piece, these pawns...
My ears.
That's so sure, actually.
It
No,
looks like
but
a very strong pin.
no, but see, this is what I hate. They go with the absolute best computer line. The line that I showed was the bishop on e6 guarding the rook on c8. It's much cleaner with the bishop on e6 versus the bishop on d5. It's much cleaner, and they give the crazy line with bishop d5 because it's the top computer line versus the line with bishop e6.
These lines, and which it is, but it's hard for white to exploit anything here.
Yeah, just a very tricky position.
Then the game turned quite dramatically, and suddenly you were winning an exchange. Did you feel that now, when you were winning the exchange, you had some winning chances, or it looked like it was always going to be on balance?
Did I miss some win here? Knight T1, but if you just go bishop F7.
Yes, bishop F4.
Yeah, see, this is also exactly what I said in my recap. Exact same thing. Because you have this bishop h3 silliness, and it's not obvious. Yeah.
Sort of weird computer moves that seem to apply pressure.
Oh, take and go back.
Yeah, again, very tricky. Very tricky without time. You're never going to find this without 30 minutes on the clock.
I thought here he can play b4.
Yeah, with 30 minutes on the clock, I mean, basically with 30 minutes on the clock, you might be able to find knight e1. But with 10 minutes on the clock or 11 minutes, whatever it was, and no increment, there's just no way you're going to play knight e1. You're going to go knight d4 every single time.
d5.
No, bishop e3. Bishop e3.
Who's coming?
Bishop e3 is just
After
winning.
we see it. So did you have the feeling you might be winning and you missed something, or did you feel like you were just moving and going with the flow? Mm-hmm. Chilling, if you will.
I'm just trying to develop my pieces and to see what happens.
We'll get to the questions soon, you guys.
Did you feel like you were busted? Like when suddenly the game completely turned around and you were defending, you had to start finding some only moves almost. Did you feel like you were in trouble, or that the game was still within bounds?
I mean, I kind of felt that I lost control, but I never thought I was losing, because I mean, it's just a very concrete position. You either see the trick or not, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I saw this position which happened in the game with knight c6, take bishop c5, and I thought, okay, probably all my advantage is gone. But I mean, in the next few moves, yeah, I probably thought all my advantage is gone, but I did not think it was even.
Yeah. For those of you guys who asked about knight d4 when he played it in 13 seconds, I'm just going to be honest. He could have spent a couple of minutes looking, but finding the winning line, this bishop f4, bishop h3 maneuver is very weird. It's very unusual. And if you don't have a lot of time there, your time's taken down, especially with no increment, there's just no way you find it. Trust me. I mean, as the old saying goes, put the fries in the bag. I mean, I know what I'm talking about, okay? End of story. There's no way you play that there. Yes, he could have used like a minute or something, but he would not have played it. I would not have played it. Nobody would have played it without a lot of time to relax and sort of delve into the position. There's just no way. It's just not happening.
Yeah, probably after. Yeah, now that I see the position, it's quite obvious. But during the game, it was not.
Someone, I think it was my client asked one.
This is the other point that Gukesh makes here, which is 100% true, which is that, like, you see, as soon as you see this stuff with the computers, like, oh my god, it's literally the easiest thing ever. Why did I do this? Why did I do that? Like, it all suddenly becomes like really clear. There's like this, there's tons of clarity as soon as you see it with a computer. As soon as you see it with a computer, it's all like, oh my god, how did I miss this? It's so easy. But again, in human play, without knowing what the best moves are, it's just not the case. It's just not the case.
You're a half full kind of guy, glass half full, optimistic. Was this another case of your optimism, or are you generally just fearless? Because a lot of players would have just taken a draw, especially later on here. It just seemed to make sense to just repeat, and you decided, maybe I'll have a chance to win, and you still kept playing.
Yeah, as I said, I didn't think
He didn't think there was any risk. Yeah, he
like
didn't
I
think there
was
was any
in a lot
risk.
of danger. So, I mean, obviously, if I knew the position was bad, I would have taken the draw.
Right, but we're not computers. Exactly. We're not 3,700
well,
computers.
Those are my questions. May I invite the press to...
I mean, that answers it all. Like, of course, if he'd known it was bad, he would have taken the draw. But of course, Gukesh, he isn't sitting there with Stockfish in his hand on his phone, able to see what's going on. So without knowing exactly what's happening, of course, as a human, you're going to view things very differently. That's the trickiest part about, like, I mean, using the eval bar versus like looking at it. Literally, so that's the trickiest part.
Come and ask their questions.
Yeah, let's listen to the press
Please
conference. Let's
line
go.
up at the microphone. Restrict your questions to just one at a time, please. We may have a chance to recycle.
Okay.
Abhidaya from Chessbase India. My question is to Gukesh. Did you think you were better after you played b5?
Yeah, I thought I was much better, probably close to winning.
Correct assessment. Correct assessment.
Yeah, since my opponent also played rook b1, b5 just looked like a very, very strong move. And yeah, probably I was better, but yes, soon he found this bishop b2, bishop d4, and the position got very tricky. I had to be very precise, which I did not.
Just a little follow-up. Like, what were your thoughts when he played bishop to d4? Did you think which knight to put on, like c5?
Yeah, I thought knight c5. I mean,
You
I was
just thought
mainly
anything was
thinking
good.
knight a c5.
Yeah.
Which
You
I
thought-
played in the game, but basically I missed his queen e1 resource. So I thought what I played was winning, but yeah, I missed queen e1. If I had seen queen e1, maybe I would have spent more time on knight dc5. But I still, like, I'm not very sure. I think the position still has some tricks, but yeah, probably knight c5. The knight dc5 was better.
Yes. Just last question off the chess. Today, the World Rapid and Blitz 2024, the players list came out. We did see Gukesh in there. Question to both the players. Gukesh, I think you'll be playing that, and also Ding, are you considering playing in New York?
I don't know. I didn't think much about it. But maybe after the match, I'll think.
So he's registered, but he might not play, basically.
Thank you.
Mike Klein with chess.com. Just want to thank the players for the last 48 hours of chess. It's been great on our end. My question is for the world champion, Ding Liren. When you gave away the A pawn pretty much right away, you got a lot of praise on the chess.com commentary from Daniel Naroditsky and Peter Lecko that you gave yourself the best practical chance. So I'm curious if you thought giving away the A pawn was objectively the best move, or if you thought it was just the hardest path for Gukesh to prove an advantage.
Honest take, I don't think Ding thought about any of this. Honest take, I don't think he thought about any of this at all. I think he was just trying to play something to keep the game going. I don't think he thought about any of this.
Well, it's based on miscalculation.
Yeah, it's based on trying to calculate.
I mean,
Yeah,
he can cover the queen with knight c5, both knight. I only thought
of course.
queen c6, and I have rook a1. d4, queen d2, something like this. I have great compensation. I thought he cannot take the pawn, then I think it's the best way to activate my pieces.
Okay, thanks for that.
வாசுதேவன் தரன்சியா மற்றும் ட்ரினிட்டி மிரர் திரு குகேஷ் அவர்களுக்கு இந்த கேள்வி முதல்ல என்னுடைய பாராட்டுகள். என்னென்னா முதலேருந்து கடைசி வரைக்கும் வந்து ஒரு த்ரில்லை வந்து விடாமல் மெயின்டைன் பண்ணுறீங்க. ஒரு ஹிச்காக் படம் மாதிரி வந்து எல்லாரையும் வந்து ஒரு டோஸில் வச்சுருக்கீங்க. அதுக்கு பாராட்டுகள். அதே சமயத்தில் வந்து அதில் இருக்கிற
It's talking about Hitchcock and probably movies and thrillers with Hitchcock and everything else.
டேஞ்சர் அது ஒரு பாயிண்டில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா உங்கள் 41வது மூவ் வந்து குயின் G2 அப்படி சொன்னால் அது வந்து 3-fold ரெப்படிஷன் வர வாய்ப்பு இருந்தது. ஈவன் மௌரிஷ் ஆஸ்லி சார் கூட கொஞ்சம் வெளியே ஓடி வந்துட்டார். ஏன்னா முடிய போகுது நம்ம ஒர்க்கை ஆரம்பிக்கணும்னு. ஆனால் நீங்கள் கொஞ்சம் நேரம் யோசிச்சுட்டு குயின் A2ன்னு வச்சுட்டீங்க. அதை பற்றி சில வார்த்தைகள்
No. You guys, my stepfather speaks Sinhalese. No. Let's not go down that path right now. He speaks Sinhalese. Let's not go down that because that's going to lead to a controversial topic, which we're not here to talk about.
Yeah, இந்த பொசிஷனில் நான் லைக் அட்லீஸ்ட் ஆல்மோஸ்ட் என்னோட அட்வான்டேஜ் போயிடுச்சுன்னு எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சது. பட் அந்த பொசிஷன் எனக்கு லைக் லூசிங்காக இருக்கும்னு நான் நினைக்கல. மேபி என்ன ஸ்டார்ட்லேருந்து ப்ரெஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்ததுனால மேபி அது லூசிங்காக இருக்க வாய்ப்பு இல்லைன்னு நினச்சேன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். பட் அந்த பொசிஷன் குயின் G2 objectively best no, but I like queen A2 rook C2 queen E6 எனக்கு இப்போ B3 வருது. ஓப்பனண்டோட கிங் கொஞ்சம் வீக்காக இருக்குன்னு பார்த்தேன். ஸோ எதுவும் அட்வான்டேஜ் இல்லைனாலும் கொஞ்ச நேரம் ப்ரெஸ் பண்ணலான்னு நினச்சேன். ஐ மீன் ஒபியஸ்லி மைனஸ்ன்னு தெரிஞ்சிருந்தா நான் ட்ரா எடுத்திருப்பேன்.
Question was I had mentioned about when queen G2 was objectively best, and even I found that Maurice Ashley was running towards the conference room getting ready, and then suddenly the challenger thought for some more time and made queen A2. So as you had earlier said that he is fearless, I was just about checking on that. அதே மாதிரி அப்ஜெக்டிவாக பார்க்கும்போது குயின் G2 வந்து நமக்கு நல்ல மூவ் அப்படின்னா அதை விட்டுட்டு வச்சுருந்தோம்னா ஒரு -1ன்ற போகக்கூடிய சான்சஸும் இருந்தது இல்லையா? அதை யோசிச்சிங்களா கொஞ்சம்?
எனக்கு -1 மாதிரி இருக்கும்னு எனக்கு தோணலை ஆக்சுவலாக. பட் ஓகே.
அந்த ரிஸ்க்கு தேவையில்லை அப்படின்னு தோணிச்சா உங்களுக்கு?
அந்த மொமெண்ட்டில் அந்த ரிஸ்க் எனக்கு ஓகேன்னு தான் தோணுச்சு.
ஆனால் அதே நேரத்தில் ஃபேன் ஜோனில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா நீங்கள் குயின் A2 வச்சோன்னே ஒரு பெரிய கிளாப் இருந்தது. அதாவது அவர் ட்ராவை விட்டுட்டு விளையாடுறாரு, ஜெயிக்க விளையாடுறாரு சொல்லிட்டு. ஸோ what I had mentioned is that in the fan zone when he played finally queen A2, there was a huge round of applause that he sidestepped the draw and went on to play for a win. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, I was actually all the way here when you finally played queen A2, and I had to go back all the way. So that did surprise me as well. May I ask, there's a lot of obvious interest in this game. May I ask the press that you just restrict yourself to one go around because there's such a long line, and the players are going to need to have dinner and get some rest because tomorrow is yet another game. Thanks.
Shali is asking on behalf of FIDE social media followers for both of you. Gukesh, we've seen you here with your dad. Ding, you have quite a few family members. So my question is, how is your family supporting you in this journey?
Yeah, as usual, I'm here with my dad and Gayo. Yeah, my dad pretty much takes care of everything other than chess, so that I can focus fully on my job, and my mom is also
Gayo is
in her own way back from home.
Gayo is Gajewski. He's a Polish grandmaster. He worked with Vishy Anand for a long time, and he's currently helping Gukesh, for anyone who's wondering who Gayo is.
Yeah, all my family, friends, my team, they're doing a great job, and I'm really thankful to them. Yeah.
Mother accompany me as usual, and she wake me up, and she sometimes provide food for me. So she's doing her job.
Hello, I'm Katarina from the German Chess Federation, and my question is to Ding. With the time management, we've seen kind of the same pattern as yesterday. When you were really low on time, you managed to play really good moves. When you look at your games, do you want to change anything with your time management, or were you happy during the game when you were so low on time?
Okay, good question.
Yeah.
Good question. Good question.
It's hard to say if I can play the quality as in the time trouble. I prefer to stay in low on time.
Hello, I'm Nemo on behalf of the Singaporean Chess Federation, and this question will be for both, but I'm going to ask Ding Liren first. So, 这个问题是给你们两位，但我先用中文
Here we
问一下
go.
丁立人。要是你必须跟 Gukesh 一起去一个，你会选哪一个和为什么？冒险水上公园、环球影城、海洋馆。And please feel free to answer in English or Mandarin. Oh, sorry, I didn't ask in English, my bad. This question is for both of you, but if you absolutely had to visit one of the following with your opponent, which one would you choose and why? The Adventure Water Cove, Universal Studios, or the Aquarium?
Oh my god. 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 Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Ay ay ay. Ay ay ay.
没什么区别，都是那个，都是儿童乐园。
Ding says that there's not much of a difference, and all of them are for kids. So same question for Gukesh. If you had to choose one of the following, which one? Adventure Water Cove, Universal Studios, or the Aquarium? With Ding.
I mean, I don't get. I mean, what is the point of this? Like, seriously, like she's a serious chess player who's very strong. Like, what is the point of this? Like, I don't even get the point of this. Like, she's like a 2300 player. Like, she's a real chess player. Like, what is the point of this question at all? Like, I mean, I don't even get it. It doesn't make any sense at all. Like, it just makes no sense whatsoever. Like, if she were someone there who doesn't really play that much chess, like, I would kind of get it. But as someone who's like a strong chess player, someone who's played a lot of chess, like, I just don't even get the point of it. It's for TikTok. I mean, that's ridiculous.
None.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe it should be an ice cream factory. So, Maria, Photo Chess Kick Channel, I'm revisiting my yesterday question because I think we need the help of Nemo, kindly agreed to translate. Liren, do you have a feeling that in the last two games, your calculation in time pressure improved and you intuitively make much better moves quicker than in the first few games? And if you have that feeling, do you think there is an explanation to that?
I mean, I think it's a good question in so much as he understands the question.
Thank you. And you can reply in either English or Mandarin.
你觉得这两盘棋，第六盘和第七盘，你是不是时间上稍微好用一些？你的步子是不是来得快一些，比你前面的六盘棋？你可以用英文或者中文，谢谢。
对，第三盘在时间紧张的情况下，我有几个严重的漏算，让他的局面能够很好的发展。然后这盘棋可能我的局面比较好下吧，然后我就走了比较自然的走法，但也并不是最精确的，我可能走得更好，能有优势。然后还是会犯一些错误吧。
Ding says that in round 3, he feel like he struggled a little bit with the moves, but in the more recent games, he's felt like he's played a little bit smoother, but not certainly to perfection, and he's working on making the best moves.
Okay, I mean, kind of the same. Ironically enough, even though it was in Mandarin, it was still kind of the same answer, wasn't it? It was still kind of the same answer. I mean, it's still the same answer. I mean, basically, but I mean, I think it's definitely true that he's like whatever it is, he's been able to figure it out when he's been low on time. I mean, yesterday less so. Today was very impressive to me. Like playing Bishop D4, Rook C1, Queen E1, Queen E1, Queen F2, Bishop E3, Knight D4, like all those moves instantly was very, very impressive.
Next question.
Matthew Griffin, The Saturday Paper, Australia. This question's to Gukesh. I'm just interested, I'm sure you must have really mentally prepared for the experience of, or the intensity of the World Championship. Now that we're more than halfway through, is there anything particularly that's been surprising in terms of the experience that, not the games themselves, but just the experience of playing?
Probably,
under such an
if he's going to
intense
be honest, he'll
environment?
say pressure. If he's going to be honest, he'll say the pressure. But I don't know if he will.
Yeah, obviously, for the World Championship, one of the main things that I focused on was mental preparation, and since I'm working with Paddy, we discussed a lot about this, and we prepared as well as we could. I guess the difference is that, like, firstly, this is a one-on-one match, which it's not very usual in just such a long match, especially. And also, obviously, there is a lot more at stake in this tournament than any other tournament. So, I guess there are more nerves and more pressure, but other than that, it's still a interesting match against a lot of interesting games against a very strong opponent.
The question is for Gukesh. As somebody, till the age of 12, 13, you were completely raced without the engine. Just on that line, how has that helped you in the last 2.5 weeks? You don't need to go into specifics, but is there any move that you've just made just because of the training that you've had as a child?
I guess it's I don't really think it makes a difference, especially in this match or anything like that. But in general, my style has been shaped in a certain way because of the work that I did before I started using computers. And I don't know. Going into details, I guess, is too much. But yeah, I don't really see anything that has been especially for this match or anything.
Hello, Abhinav from US Chess. I think the entire chess world can say that this is a fantastic game, and more uniquely, one of the first where we've seen both of you demonstrate some incredible resilience upon being surprised. Ding upon reacting to f6, and Gukesh, you upon reacting to queen e1. Without getting into the moves, can you describe a little bit about what is your thought process to find resilience or inner strength in these moments that you didn't expect? Or, to put it more bluntly, how do you react to surprises?
Well, we need to find the best move.
It's a good question. It's a good question.
In the worst position to stay in the game. And yesterday I run out of any ideas except f6 to have the threat rook d3. And today, queen e1 is the only way to create counter plays.
No, I basically, here's the problem. Like, the problem with the question, though, when you ask a question about chess is there's nothing you can really say that isn't really generic and boring. Like, when you ask about a move, you're just gonna say, well, I calculated and it's what I came up with. Like, that's really the only answer. So it's really hard to ask, because these are good questions, but the problem is the answer is going to be generic. That's the problem. It's going to be very generic because you're going to be like, okay, I just calculated what I thought was best and I played it. So it's very tricky, even though the question is good. The question is a good question, but it's hard to get a non-generic answer.
In worst position, we have to be patient and to wait for our chance.
I guess okay, in this game it was a bit different because I did not think I was much worse. So, but yeah, in general, when you're worse, it's pretty much the same. You just try to make the best move and hold on for as long as possible, because generally the opponents make mistakes at some point. So, yeah, I think that is the best way.
Thank you both.
believe we have 2 more questions.
Hi, I'm Kyla, representing the local organizing committee. My question goes to both players, but I'll ask the world champion first. Now that we are more than halfway through the match, if you had to rate your own play so far, would you say that you're exceeding expectations, meeting expectations, or underperforming based on expectations? And if you could just elaborate on why you would say so.
It seems recently every time I play a match, no matter online or over the board, it's a very tense match. And even if I win with a very small margin, so it was on my expectation.
My play so far.
But it was way too loud. It was way too loud. It was way too loud.
Shaky, but yeah, especially the last few games, I think my play has been quite good. Just a couple of moments where I missed my chances, but overall I think I'm playing really well the last few games, and but yeah, there's still room for improvement, hopefully in the next games.
Okay, thank you very much.
I am Ajit Kumar from The Hindu. My question is to Gukesh. Gukesh, you faced quite a lot of different openings from Ding so far in this match. Which are the other, have there been ones that surprised you a bit more than the others?
Not gonna get an answer. Not gonna get an answer on this.
Like when you're preparing for a world championship, you try to be as thorough as possible.
Yeah, you're not going to get an answer on this because it reveals so much
all
about
the
preparation.
That we have played so far are good openings, and they are sound and solid openings. So it's nothing came as a huge surprise, really. But yeah, there has been some really interesting stuff going on, and I'm glad about it.
And Ding, have you been surprised by any of Gukesh's choice of openings here?
Yes, considering the time I used in opening phrase, you can see fairly I'm surprised by the opening choice.
Thank you.
I have a very quick question for the players. As someone who has played in many tournaments myself, but never played for a world championship match or came close to, are you, both players, I'll start with you, Ding, are you having fun?
Today, just out of the opening, it's kind of turgid.
That's hilarious.
But the first game was I enjoyed most of the parts.
Yeah, I mean, playing in the World Championship has been my childhood dream. So, in that sense, yeah, I'm here where I always wanted to be. In that sense, I'm really happy and I'm enjoying the moment. But obviously, there is the games are very tense, and obviously there is pressure. So, yeah, I guess a bit of both.
Thank you for your frank answers. That concludes the press conference. We have Game 9 tomorrow at the same time. It'll be the day before the rest day. Thanks, everyone, and have a great night.
Yeah, okay, not too bad. I mean, a lot of plain vanilla. I mean, a couple of really ridiculous questions, but overall pretty, just bleh. No, I mean, not horrible at least for the most part, but not super insightful. Very few questions about the actual game, which is very disappointing, but it is what it is. I mean, I think the players are probably just tired, frankly, after this game is what I would say. I think they're just tired. It's like, it's what it is. So at any rate, that is going to do it for the press conference from after game number 8 played today in the 2024 World Chess Championship. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to smash that subscribe button below, and we'll be back with some more press conferences and everything else in the very near future. So hope you guys enjoyed it and have a great rest of your day. See you guys. Bye.